Have you ever found yourself chasing after someone who's been pulling away from you? You probably thought that by blowing up her phone, you were holding on to her before it got too late, right? That never seems to work out though. It's an all too familiar feeling, wondering what you did wrong to deserve this. But there's actually a better way to navigate through this situation. 5 better ways, actually. Following these tips won't just help you win her back without a sweat, but you'll find yourself morphing into a newer, better version of yourself. Ready to find out more? Make sure you subscribe to this channel to keep up to date with all our tips on how to become a better man. Let's get started. Number 5. Let her sort her feelings on her own. What was the first thing you wanted to do when you realized that she was pulling away? Odds are you tried everything possible to get her attention again. This could have been anything from constantly asking her what's wrong or attempting to go out of your way to make her feel special. None of it, though, seemed to work. And that just made you fall deeper and deeper into this bottomless pit of, what's going on? What does it mean? There's something you need to get clear on right here and now. The reason why she's pulling away from you might have nothing to do with you. This is her taking some time to ponder over her feelings. Yes, it might have something to do with you and the relationship the two of you share, but just because she's pulling away doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong. If anything, you might have been doing and saying all the right things and she still feels double-minded. Ask yourself this: why should I chase someone who's pulling away? The answer is that you shouldn't. You need to remember that her reasons are her own, and if she's decided not to communicate them with you, then there's literally nothing you can do about it. If anything, chasing after her only makes you seem weak and pitiable. You're trying to win her back, yes, but why ruin yourself and your self-worth in the process? Chasing after her, blowing up her phone, and appearing overly needy aren't helping your case. If anything, it's only making her feel like pulling away was the right thing to do. She'll think you're needy and desperate for her attention, which feeds her ego and makes her believe that she could just act indifferent the next time she wants your full attention. If it's not that, then you're only ruining your credibility in her eyes by making it seem like you have no life of your own. At the end of the day, she's the one who decided to pull away from you, not you. Let her sort her feelings out on her own time and by herself. If she comes back, that's a win for you. And if she doesn't, that's still a win. Number 4. Don't act desperate. The number one mistake men make when they're attempting to win back someone who's pulling away from them is that they start to act desperate. More so, they start to act in a way that only makes them seem weak. The one thing you don't want to do when you feel like she's pulling away from you is act like your whole world revolves around her. It's one thing to love someone and want the two of you to work things out, but it's a whole other thing to act desperate for their attention. Think of it this way: would you feel love and adoration for someone who's constantly chasing after you despite you making it clear that you want space? Or would you feel sympathy for someone who's acting so meek and pathetic? You know the answer to that one, and it's about time you start thinking of yourself, your self-image, and your self-respect whenever you feel like she's acting distant. Also, in a broader sense, acting desperate will never work. You need to curb the instinct within yourself that's telling you that the best way to get them back is by serenading them. Women don't appreciate men who appear to have no social life outside of their relationship. At the end of the day, you have to realize that she may or may not come back, but you'll always have to live with the fact that you acted desperately for someone who, at that moment, made it clear that she wanted nothing to do with you. Number 3. This is your time to focus on self-improvement. The reason why some men feel like their whole world is crashing down whenever their partners start pulling away is because they've made their relationships their whole world in the first place. Men who have no lives of their own and instead focus on incorporating their relationship into everything often find themselves in a deep, dark hole anytime they're in the middle of a relationship crisis. Now, would you consider these men to be strong? They've already made it apparent that they're in no way independent. And by allowing themselves to sulk and pout over someone pulling away, they're ruining their credibility. And that's not just in the eyes of the women they're chasing after either. It's in the eyes of everyone who looks at them. People start treating them with sympathy and snicker behind their backs because of the way they're acting. Ask yourself, is that the sort of person you want to become? No, you don't. Take this time to focus on yourself and not your relationship. You need to remember that you're more than who you are when you're with her. A relationship shouldn't be your only defining characteristic. Explore hobbies, improve your social circle, work on your career, and do whatever it takes to make yourself feel better about yourself. It's also important to remember that maybe she's pulling away from you for those exact reasons. Maybe she feels suffocated because of you and the fact that you have no social life outside of the relationship. In any case, working on yourself won't just help her see you in a new light, but it'll also boost your confidence and improve your social skills. And you might just pick up a new hobby in the meantime. Number 2. Let her appreciate you. Serious question. Why are you chasing after her right now? Think back to what made you realize that she was pulling away from you. It might have been the fact that she was acting distant. Maybe she wasn't being receptive toward you. And maybe it just seemed like she'd always be in an awful mood anytime you came by. There were several clues that helped you understand that she was pulling away, right? And all of those clues, in one way or another, made you feel bad about yourself. It would have been one thing if you were actually guilty of something, but in this case, she was pulling away because she made the decision herself. So with that being said, why should you be the one to fight for her? Love is one thing, but nothing trumps self-respect. You need to remember that if she loves you, she'll come back on her own, and in her own time. By showing her how you're not begging for her attention, you're setting a precedent that'll help you for as long as you two are together. You're not going to come crying anytime she's decided to pull away. Not only will this mindset help you in improving your own self-worth, but it'll also make her appreciate you more. The thing is, no woman wants a man who makes it seem like they have no life outside of her. She may or may not be the one for you, and it's okay to feel like you need to do more on the off chance that she is. But why should you be the only one making an effort, especially considering the fact that it was she who made the decision to back away in the first place? Allow her the time and space not just to think over her feelings and reevaluate her decision, but also for her to see you as a new and changed man who can very well navigate through life without her. Women are attracted to confident and independent men, and there's nothing better for your self-worth and confidence in this relationship than for you to sit back and not worry about her pulling away for more than a minute. Number 1. Set a precedent. This might just be the hardest thing to do when you feel like she's pulling away, but it's also the most important thing to do if you want to live a happy life. Here's the deal. Do you remember that sad and gloomy feeling you felt when she first started showing signs of dissociating from you and what the two of you shared? Do you remember feeling like the world was shaking? Obviously, you wanted to keep things as they were for as long as you could and started reevaluating your entire life just to pinpoint the exact time, date, and event that caused this shift in her. There wasn't anything, and we've already talked about how these are her feelings to sort. Still, you want to know a better reason to give her space when she asks for it, besides the obvious. The fact that once you start chasing, you'll always be the chaser. There's no coming out of it. A fact that not many people know about relationship dynamics is that they never change. The person in power doesn't ever want to step down from that place. In this case, by showing her how you've based your happiness solely on her, you're making her think that she can control your thoughts, feelings, and emotions all by just acting distant. You're giving her the strongest card in the deck, and you better believe she'll be playing it every chance she gets. You already know that's not how it's supposed to be. But sometimes, you're so blinded by emotion that you lose sight of the obvious. So remember, by pulling away when she pulls away first, you're setting a precedent that she can't just get her way whenever she wants. The only person in control of your feelings is you. That's the bottom line. Thanks for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, comment down what you think works best when someone's pulling away, and subscribe for more content just like this.